Hey everybody, so I started my fourth and final chemo cycle this morning. My bloods, the good news was that my red and white blood cell count from giving blood on Wednesday was actually the highest it's ever been. So I think that's come down to potentially two main reasons. Obviously they reduced my dose by 20%, so that's definitely had an impact. And I also found, just when I was doing some reading up, there's a special honey that they discovered kind of by accident that if you take it, it boosts your red and white blood cell. It helps promote more of those being made because the bees are fed on kind of very specialist bush and herbal plants. And they discovered for patients that are on chemotherapy, it helps boost their numbers enough that lots of their cycles don't get delayed. So it's quite an interesting kind of story and product. And as you can imagine, it costs a bomb and the jar that you get is quite small. But I didn't want to delay any more of my chemo because I've already had 2 weeks delay in me being able to get on with my life and start getting rid of the drugs, and I didn't want to add another week to that, which just pushes everything else out. So I got this honey, and I think with the dose reduction and the honey, my white blood cell count, there's a branch of it, I think it's called neutrophils or something like that. It's supposed to be 1.5 or over, and all the cycle 2 and 3 bloods before they were delayed were down in the 1.3 region. Obviously I was 1.5 when I started my first cycle, and I was 1.63 for this cycle. So with the dose reduction and the honey, and I managed my energy and rest, a bit more restorative health for this cycle. So it meant this last one came when it was planned to, which is good. So as you can probably tell, because I'm tripping over my words, I've got a bit of chemo brain, tired. I'm using this hand rather than my right hand. So cycle 1 to 3, I had all the infusions and all the chemo delivered in my left hand. Once through a vein, one of these veins. My second one was here, which was actually a really good place because I'd only had a sore arm for a couple of days. And then the third one, it's this darker vein. I don't know if you can see that here. The nurse was taking a look at this hand today, and she tried a couple just tapping. She said the 2 places on the top of my hand that I've had the chemotherapy drug go in, it's impacted the vein and it's hardened, and that one's actually discoloured. And the one on the bottom, she actually did put a cannula in, but it just wasn't working. The flush wasn't going in, so she had to take, so I've got a plaster on it. She had to take it out, and they went with my right hand just to give this one a rest and to try and hopefully get healing as quickly as possible. So this hand is now really sore. It's like really bad pins and needles on the top here. Don't even want to touch it, kind of from like wrist to knuckle and underneath from wrist all the way down to kind of about here. It's very tender. I can't really have anything touching it, even putting lotions or oils on it. It's just too sensitive just now, so maybe in another week. So anyway, that was really just wanted to share how it was going with cycle 4. It's mostly just tired, bit of sore head. And I also wanted to share, one of my sisters asked me if I felt really good when I walked out, and I thought I would have, but when I left, I actually just cried, but I haven't figured out why. It might just be because I felt like shit, and I really don't like that, and it makes me upset when I'm not feeling like I can function. So I'm sure the good vibes will come when the more harsher side effects wear off in a week to 10 days, and I can start my detox even before I've finished the chemo tablets. I'll probably get started on my detox as soon as my taste buds are able to cope with some more of the foods and the liquids that I'm using to detox and reduce the stress in my digestion in my body, so that it can focus on healing and removing all the toxins and stuff. So I thought it was a good question, and the answer wasn't what I was expecting. And don't get me wrong, like when I left and cried, it wasn't like I was crying like a baby or uncontrollable sobs. It might have been a relief thing, I don't know. But I just cried for a minute or two, and then we were concentrating on getting a taxi home so I could rest. So anyway, I've pretty much done hee-haw all day. I had a good walk before I started the IV stuff. I was in hospital from 9 till 1:30, and all the nurses that I had today, it was actually a really good team today. You could tell they were like on top of everything. It didn't feel like chaos, it felt like organised busyness. So yeah, I think shout out to Donna, Kirsty, Faye, and I think it was Rachel, who helped and administered all the drips, because I had, I think, 6 or 7 rotated on the big stand today, just to help, extra things to help with the side effects so they're not as bad. So yeah, and they were like, you know, good luck, we hope we never see you again. We kind of joked that's the only time in a medical establishment, or maybe a funeral director's, the only time you get away with saying I hope I never see you again is in those situations. So yeah, so that was nice. So anyway, I'm blabbering on because that's what I do and I'm tired. So I'll finish up now and send an update over the next couple of days, let you know how I'm getting on. You'll have a new background next week, because with the restrictions easing, I'm going to go up and stay with my mum and dad for a couple of days and let them just take care of their wee girl for a couple of days, because I think they've missed out on that when we were in proper lockdown and we couldn't travel across regions. So yeah, you'll get a different background next week whenever I decide to do some videos to share. So see you later.